Greetings, lovely Cancers. So you're the first ones today. It's taken me a while. I'm back in base, in my place, but it's just taken me a while to really get organised today. And I find myself in the room of many doorways, as you can see. Anyway, beautiful Cancers, let's get a card for you, an overarching energy whoop for your reading this week. We've got one popping out already. I'm not sure whether you've had this one before. We find ourselves with the questioning here. Excuse the light is a bit funny today. We have the questioning from the Journey Map deck, my own deck. The questioning is literally, this is for overarching energies at this current time, is about, you can see discombobulation going on. It's about asking different questions. We see when we have predictable outcomes that we know the right questions to ask, because we can see what the outcome's going to be. This card is suggesting to you that at the moment, at this beginning of this new year, that you yourself, beautiful Cancers, have a literal whole new recipe book that's been offered to you to flick through. And even though there's a lot of uncertainty, it disguises a literal smorgasbord of new potentials and opportunity for you. You know, in that sense, this card can be a little bit scary because there's a lot of uncertainty. But at the same time, it's presented itself to you for a reason. And maybe underneath it, in a sort of layer underneath, that this is a time where you want to extend what you see as your potential. You want to extend it beyond what you have maybe seen it as being in the past. So it's entering new territory. And within this card, and I speak of this room with many doorways, there is a doorway, there is a portal with the questioning that will take you into new zones of experience if you allow it. So that's a really amazing opportunities, not just opportunity, but opportunities around you at the moment, Cancer. And you know, it's like we are at the beginning of a new year, of course, but new potentials. New potentials, nevertheless quite difficult. Can be. So let's see, we'll get a card for your, excuse me, what are seen to be your choices at the moment, Cancer. Excuse me, that did pop out. And we have the lovely Knight. You can see the beautiful, I know this is difficult light. We have the Knight of Discs. And this is slow and steady progress, which sometimes doesn't feel very exciting. but it gets you to where you want to go, especially if you're asking new questions, especially if that is the case. Slow and steady progress. And you know what, with the knight, he always gets there in the end. Always. So that's very interesting. I just had another card that sort of flew out. Excuse me. Wow. I think you might have a couple of different options to consider. So we had the Knight of Discs, and we get the Prince of Wands, who's very fiery and very fast and very impulsive. Very impulsive. So we see slow and steady wins the race. We're taking a few risks with Mr. Impulsive, Prince of Wands. It's pretty interesting choice. And these may well, often court cards are traditionally. Court cards can often be seen as personalities in your life, aspects of yourself as well. Choices. One is slow and steady and familiar, maybe. And one's a bit fast and furious. Let's see if there's a challenge here for beautiful Cancer, beautiful moon children. Let's see if there's a challenge today. The challenge, my friends, is the moon. The challenge is moving through a portal. We see in this moon the two towers, of course, and the entranceway in the Thoth Frida Harris deck. There's a sort of reproductive element to the central point in this card. It's not to suggest that you're going to be reproducing, but the challenge is, I guess, the unseen nature of the moon. The unknown quantity of a different set of questions, of a different set of recipes that you don't necessarily know what the outcome will be, or the overpowering sense of what has been a really intense full moon in Cancer. It's a difficult time. That's just how I feel. So the challenge being the moon, those parts of the unconscious that we're not necessarily aware of, maybe. And traits for ease, please, for beautiful Cancers, for beautiful Cancerians. Traits for ease here when we're looking at new ways of doing what we do, but we're not quite sure how we're going to do it yet. Traits for ease, please, for the beautiful Cancer. Oops. We'll just wait. There's just too many. Often, just too many cards come out. Traits for ease, please, for the beautiful Cancer. Maybe we don't need any. Maybe we don't need any. We've got everything we need. Or qualities for ease. We have the Queen of Discs. Now the Queen of Discs clearly has worked her way there. And in this particular card, she looks back. She looks back at the past. She's reviewing it. And in the past, she sees in a desert area a collection of oases, the river. And I always say with this card, it reminds me of a camel, of the hump, and how we can continue on a journey for a very long time. And the Queen has been high and low, has been through desert and through lush savanna. And here she reaches her throne and she can look back upon that. I feel that that possibly is what you're experiencing at the moment, beautiful Cancers. And if it's not at the end of a year, it's at the beginning of a new one, that we often do this to review, especially when we're thinking of entering a new zone. We review where we have been thus far. So I guess that the directive here would be to allow yourself time, allow yourself to look at your achievements thus far. This is very much a similar feeling that was the Time and Tides reading for the full moon in Cancer. It was very much like that don't overlook small achievements as much as anything else, because it looks to me that it's a time for review before you start asking, before you start challenging yourself in terms of the questions that you're asking to get the kind of results that you want. So it's pretty feisty to me, is what I feel. Is there's a sort of gentleness and there's an acceptance of not knowing certain outcomes at the moment. You're okay with that. It's really beautiful, Cancer. Really beautiful. So that is your reading today. I am coming in after these readings to do individual signs, a kind of love water well readings that are about where we're at in terms of our emotional center and our what you could call our love sphere, I suppose. So on that, beautiful Cancers, thank you for joining me, and I hope that was of interest or help. Please tune into your water well, the general currents of love at the moment, and that'll be up soon. Thank you, my friends. Ka kite. Take care. Take good care.